Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. We are bang in the middle of election season. The state of Gujarat is going to polls in just about 10 days from now. Himachal has already polled the biggest poll plank of the opposition in both states, even in Himachal and now in Gujarat, has been unemployment, the creation of jobs. So what's really gone down is, viewers, that the Prime Minister has now made an announcement, say, launching a Rozgar Mela. Well, he's done it twice in the last 1 month. The latest announcing 71,000 jobs, government jobs, giving out recruitment offers as well, which the last time was 70,000 jobs. The government says delivering on the promise of creating jobs. The opposition says this is once again jumla.
आज जो नियुक्त पत्र है वो आपका एंट्री पॉइंट है। इसका मतलब हुआ कि प्रगति का एक नया विश्व आपके सामने अब खुल चुका है। आप अपने आप को अधिक से अधिक योग्य बनाइए।
It's election season, ripe to launch Mission Rozgar.
अब आज का ये विशाल रोजगार मेला दिखाता है कि सरकार किस तरह गवर्नमेंट जॉब देने के लिए मिशन मोड में काम कर रही है।
Lack of jobs, unemployed youth has been the poll plank of the opposition in both Himachal and Gujarat. Enter the BJP star poll campaigner, Prime Minister Modi, with an announcement of a Rozgar Mela, where appointment letters to government jobs will be handed over to 70,000 youth. This is the second such announcement in less than a month. The first was an announcement of 75,000 jobs. The Rozgar Mela, the government would hope to look at the Rozgar Mela to battle anti-incumbency, where the Rozgar Mela was held in 45 cities across India. Central cabinet ministers were the main hosts. Dr. Jitendra Singh hosted it in Delhi. Anurag Thakur was the host in Gurugram. Hardeep Puri held it in Chandigarh, while Kiran Rijiju hosted it in Arunachal Pradesh. The Prime Minister Modi joined virtually, promising 10 lakh jobs next year.
आपको ये नई जिम्मेदारी एक विशेष कालखंड में मिल रही है। भारत को विकसित बनाने का प्रण लिया है। इस प्रण की प्राप्ति में आप सभी देश के सारथी बनने जा रहे हैं।
The opposition was quick to corner the government with the too little too late charge, while Bihar Deputy CM Tejasvi Yadav gave himself the credit for pushing the government to announce jobs, while the Congress credited Rahul Gandhi for raising the lack of jobs for the youth repeatedly during Bharat Jodo Yatra, adding that the few thousand jobs fall way short of the promise that the Prime Minister had made of 2 crore jobs.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी द्वारा अगर नियुक्ति पत्र बांटा जा रहा है और उसको देखते हुए अगर केंद्र जो है नियुक्ति पत्र बांट रही है तो इससे बड़ा बात क्या हो सकता है?
What remains to be seen is, will the announcement of 70,000 jobs in the middle of elections in Gujarat further quell the anti-incumbency in the poll-bound state for a party that already seems in pole position? Bureau Report, India Today. All right, viewers, so for our face-off this evening, whether it's a Jumle ki Sarkar or a Rozgar ki Sarkar, I'm joined by Rohan Gupta, spokesperson Congress, Sanju Verma, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party. Sanju Verma, the opposition is reminding you today of the 2 crore jobs promise that your government made. Where are those jobs? 70,000 or 75,000 announced in this month falls way short.
You know, Preeti, I'm glad you raised this topic by way of a debate. First and foremost, let's be very clear that the Rozgar Mela announced by the Prime Minister has the intention of providing, close to 10 lakh, as in 1 million jobs in the next 12 to 18 months. I agree that in a country as large as India's, with a population of almost 1.4 billion people, 10 lakh jobs do not suffice. Having said that, I think one area where we, with no offense to you, where a lot of academicians, media, and so-called leftist intellectuals have got their facts completely wrong, and the narrative is even worse, is with respect to employment generation under the Modi government. And I'll give you hard facts which you can, corroborate on any of the ministerial concerned websites. First and foremost, let's be very clear. At the peak of the pandemic, the government also announced the Atmanirbhar Rozgar Yojana. And you will be surprised to know that this was launched in October 2020, and barely in 2 years, we've already provided 6 million, as in 60 lakh jobs. Point number one. Point number two, I'm not even going to speak about the Agniveer scheme, because that is only limited to people below officers rank, for people who want to enroll themselves. While that will also give close to 10 lakh jobs going forward. Let's come to the other more important numbers. One thing which nobody seems to be talking of is the fact that the EPFO, which I think and which a lot of economists who are not even inclined towards the BJP have time and again said is one of the best yardsticks to measure how employment is being generated in India. I'll just quickly, give me 10 seconds. Jan 2022, 15.29 lakh new subscribers, February 14.12 lakh, March 15.32 lakh, April 17.08 lakh, May 16.82 lakh, June 18.36 lakh, July 18.23 lakh, August 9.87 lakh, September 16.82 lakh subscribers. I've given you data for the period from Jan to September 2022, which means that every month on an average, 15.76 lakh new subscribers are getting added to the EPFO, which means that in a year, roughly 1.89 crore people are joining the formal sector. Now, if you take the number of 1.89 crore and you multiply that with 8 years, you basically get a number of 15.12 crore, which means that 15.12 crore people have actually either got new employment or have joined the formal sector, which means higher wages, more opportunities. So this whole narrative that employment or rozgar ki kami hai is a whole lot of hogwash. And while I am not a big believer, Preeti, on the data churned out by the CMIE, just 10 seconds. While I'm not a big believer in the data churned out by CMIE, but the Congress, on your channel, on your show, Preeti, I have done a couple of debates where the Congress panelists have said, CMIE has said that employment is at a 5-year high, 7-year high, 30-year high. So please see what the CMIE says. Mahesh Vyas, who's known to be a Chidambaram acolyte, has said that unemployment has hit a new low, employment opportunities have hit a new high, and the unemployment rate has fallen to a decadal low of 6.3%. While there is room for improvement,
Sanju Verma, the fact is, I want to bring in Rohan Gupta, but you gave out figures month-wise. We'll also give those same figures out. But, with what you just said, you've added a rider that you don't quite believe in the data issued by part of your own government as well. But I would reckon an 8%. And we'll give the... Yeah, we're going to just give now, in just a short while, the rate of unemployment. The rate of unemployment over the last couple of months, and it rests, viewers, at 8%. It's even crossed 8% just about 2 months ago. Right now, we are closing in to an 8%, which is, if you compare it to other developing nations, way, way higher. But I will come back to you, Sanju Verma. You are an economist in your own right. But Rohan Gupta, the fact is, yes, 2 crore jobs was a statement which the Prime Minister had made many moons ago when in 2013, and correct me if I'm wrong, your co-panelist has said that the government has pretty much delivered very close to that very figure that it had promised, and ultimately it's a big country, we've had the pandemic, there are lots and ups and downs, at least jobs are still being given.
So, Preeti, first of all, that was not the statement, that was a promise made by Mr. Modi before he became the Prime Minister of the country. Going by that, I think 8 years, that should have been 16 crore jobs. Forget about 16 crore jobs. I think in Corona pandemic, around crore people, they lost the job. Even now, this government is not able to provide them job. You have seen the unemployment rate. BJP spokesperson will never believe in these numbers. Always they quote EPFO data. If the experts are there, EPFO policy is not clear that whether one employee, when he leaves the job and when he joins the new job, whether it is duplicated or how it is collected, it is not clear. And here you have CMI, which publishes the specific data, the state-wise data, month-wise data, week-wise data, which they are not ready to believe. In month of November, the rate of unemployment has increased, which they are not ready to believe. The point here is it is too little, too less, because even 6 months back, central government told that we will provide 10 lakh jobs. In central government, more than 31 lakh vacancies are there in central government. If this government is not able to fulfill those vacancies even in 8 years, what do we expect more from that? I think 10 lakh jobs even in 1.5 years, going by that standard, even that promise will not be over. The point here is, Preeti, unemployment is a huge issue as far as India is concerned. Wherever you go, any state you go, this is a huge problem. This government is not able to support the SMEs or SMEs, which is the core of Indian economy. And that is the biggest reason why there is no new job creation. This government can organize different melas just whenever elections come. But the reality on the ground is unemployment has increased in last 8 years. This government has no policy, no control, because their economic policy, which should have been small industry specific, which is specific only to few big industries, and that is the basic reason on unemployment of this government.
All right. Sanju Verma, I'll take on from what Mr. Rohan Gupta said. I gave you the figures of the rate of unemployment. You say you don't quite trust them. But on the other hand, you do trust in the promise that was made by the Prime Minister in 2013. 2 crore jobs per year is what was promised. The reason why the opposition today calls you a Jumle ki Sarkar.
Preeti, first and foremost, with no offense to you, when I said I don't believe in the CMIE data, CMIE is not a government body. It is a private organization which is owned by Mahesh Vyas. And
Madam, I'll tell you, okay. Madam,
yeah,
the data that you are talking about, A, is not the data that we are quoting, but the data that you are talking about has been quoted by your government on many accounts when it is done
okay,
well.
Let me come to that, Preeti. Thank you. Thank you for your comment on that. I just have one thing to say, Preeti. I gave out month-wise data of EPFO. Rohan Gupta said EPFO is not clear whether, new additions are being made or it is old employees who first leave and then join back. EPFO data that I have quoted to you are net subscribers. People who for the first time have joined the EPFO were not previously a part of the subscriber base. And I'm willing to have a gun to my head and to be held accountable. I have just told you right now, 1.89 crore is the average new subscribers by way of numbers that are being added every year. 1.89 into 8 years, Mr. Rohan Gupta, means 15.
So let her respond, Mr. Gupta, I'll come to you. Let her finish.
Joined the EPFO. 15 crore people. And one more thing. Preeti, let's not forget about what Nirmala Sitharaman said. And the Congress never wants to believe the finance minister, but this is a statement made by her both on the floor of the parliament and outside as well, and I believe her. She has said that the production linked incentive scheme, the PLI scheme, do you know how much we got by way of investment in the PLI in just the semiconductor sector? She said it was 70,000 crore, another 67,000 crore in the electronics sector, and she said that we are well on our way to not just achieving our target of creating 6 million jobs in the next 5 years via the PLI scheme alone, but actually we might surpass our target. And by the way, Rohan Gupta, do you, admit to this data or not? It's on the Mudra Yojana website. 37 crore entities have got loans to the tune of 19 lakh crore under the Mudra Yojana. These 37 crore entities who got loans today are self-employed. Mudra Yojana is the world's largest self-employment generating scheme. Be it Atmanirbhar Rozgar Yojana, be it the EPFO data, be it the fact that self-help groups, today 8 crore women are under the self-help group program, and they have said, I was watching the show on India Today a couple of months back, they said that 8 crore self-help groups have covered today more than 600 districts, more than 6,000 blocks, more than 2.5 lakh gram panchayats, and rural employment actually is something that is a reality which
Okay.
the Congress does
All
not
right.
want to see.
Rohan Gupta wants to come in.
Right now,
Rohan
right
Gupta
here.
wants to come in for a rebuttal. But Sanju Verma, you say that it's way beyond your own target, but your target originally was 2 crore jobs a year. So, Rohan Gupta, you want to come in for a rebuttal? Go
I
ahead.
gave you the breakdown.
But that still doesn't add up.
Preeti.
But that still doesn't add up, ma'am, to 2 crore jobs a year. But having said that, I'll come back to you.
I gave you the breakdown.
But it doesn't add up.
I think let me.
That's what I'm saying. Your breakdown doesn't add up to 2 crore jobs a year since 2013.
How it does not add up?
Ma'am,
Preeti, 39 crore entities have got loans under Mudra. 60 lakh, even 6 million people got jobs under Atmanirbhar Rozgar
ma'am,
Yoजना.
2 crore jobs a year was the promise that was made in 2013. That would tantamount in 8 years to 16 crores. Having said that, okay.
16 crore jobs. I gave you a number which translates into more than 18 crore jobs. Preeti, do the math, please. Come on, yaar.
Okay, madam. Okay, 1 second. Rohan Gupta, the point made by the Congress through it all has been one, that this is happening in the middle of election season. The way things stand poised right now in Gujarat, do you really see this because of an election season? Because the BJP seems to be in pole position. They really don't need to announce these jobs right now.
No, absolutely not, Preeti. As far as Gujarat is concerned, they are on sticky wicket, and unemployment is a huge issue as far as Gujarat is concerned. And see, I don't want to go in illogical arguments when you have unemployment rate which is increasing month by month, whereas the data which are there to support. And I think going into this argument there is no unemployment, only BJP and BJP spokesperson can do this. See, come on, if you won't admit the problem, how will you solve the problem? This is the basic problem with him. For them, Notebandi would have solved all the problems. There is no issue. For them, GST has solved all the problems. Farm laws have solved all the farmer issues. The basic issue is the BJP government has always in denial mode. They will come on debate and they will try and explain their failure rather than going into reasons how to make it successful. See, you have to accept that unemployment is increasing in India, and what government has offered 10 lakh jobs. Again, I am giving my figure that 31 lakh jobs are vacant in central government. There is a deficiency of people. If this government is not able to fulfill those 31 lakhs in 8 years, what more you expect from that? At least that much they can start to do. And so that, people have confidence on them. That, okay, last 8 years they are not able to deliver. At least now they are filling the vacancies which are available and which are in hand of this government to fulfill. They are not doing, number one. Number two, you have seen, Preeti, this is a huge issue I am discussing on your debate, is the new startup which is laying off the people like that. There is no control of this government or no policy. You see, every day you will find news that this startup has laid off this many number of people and all. What is this government doing? Corona, more than 2 crore people lost their job. This government has no plan because they have not provided money in the hand of SMEs, which have been the biggest job providers. In Gujarat, more than 36% of SMEs, they had to close their shop. Now, obviously, when they close their shop,
I'll come back to you, ma'am. Let him finish.
They will be unemployed. So there is no policy of this government. They will come on debate, justify wrong figures and just go away with that. But I think the country is watching this debate. The people who are unemployed, they know what is the reality of BJP and jumlas of BJP. They will never trust. And we are happy that they are in denial mode. People will throw away these people because of their overconfidence, and Gujarat will be the beginning, Preeti.
May I?
Sanju Verma, rebuttal. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Preeti. Preeti, Rohan Gupta made one very interesting comment which I agree with him. He said the first, means of solving a problem is to actually acknowledge that a problem exists. And I would tell the Congress that the problem is not with the BJP. The problem is with the Congress in its own backyard. You quoted some figures saying that, XYZ number of units have closed down in Gujarat. I challenge you. I am telling you, go to the MSME website. The central MSME website, there are 6 crore MSMEs in the country. And it says that the number of MSMEs in Gujarat alone have provided in the last 8 years 47 lakh new jobs. Rohan Gupta, I am giving you the source of my data. I am giving you the data. All that you are saying is jobs nahi hai. Preeti, can I please finish?
Yeah, let him finish. Let her finish. Go ahead, make your point.
Let me finish. Preeti, now let's look at one more thing. Forget about numbers. IMF said that India grew at 8.7% last year. This year we might grow anywhere between 6.5 to 7.4% as per IMF, World Bank, Morgan Stanley, etc. My simple question is, when the world is, in a recession, The US saw 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. The UK's GDP number just came out few days back. It shrank by 0.2%. In such a scenario, if India is growing at 6, 7, 8%, how is it that an economy that is growing
One thing, okay,
cannot
Rohan
create
Gupta.
jobs?
Rohan Gupta, our rate of unemployment might be 8%, close to 8%, but the fact is, relatively, if you do look at it, we're doing way better.
Exactly.
One second,
No.
Rohan Gupta, go ahead.
See, Preeti, BJP spokesperson told about, and she challenged about Gujarat. I am showing her one news. MSMEs in Gujarat faced tough time post-unlock in COVID-19 pandemic. 36%
Madam, you spoke
Please don't
uninterrupted.
speak in between. Sanju
Go
Verma,
ahead,
don't
Rohan
speak in
Gupta, go
between.
ahead.
I can also do that. Please.
Go
don't
ahead,
do that.
Rohan Gupta, quickly make your point.
When I am speaking, don't
You
do
were
what.
doing that.
See now, 36%
Can I just get Rohan
of the
Gupta?
units-
Without data.
May I just get Rohan Gupta? Rohan Gupta, go ahead, make your point.
SMSEs in Gujarat, they closed their shop. This is the data. 22% of units switched to multitasking process to get maximum output. So these are not my numbers, Preeti. These are the numbers which are published in news websites. The point here is, Preeti, they are not ready to accept the problem. Again, I am coming back to my point.
Okay.
When this government declared Rozgar Mela, at least the first objective of fulfilling the vacancies in central government, that they could have done at least.
All right, okay, I'm going to, okay.
That could have been done. That is
Okay,
also not
with that, viewers, I'm going to end this debate. That's all the time that I have for now. I appreciate Sanju Verma and Rohan Gupta for joining us. Both of them have given us figures. The BJP, Sanju Verma says that she has enough figures to suggest that the government has closed in on the 16 crore job mark ever since it came into power in 2014. Rohan Gupta says otherwise. Both of them have their figures to support it. But ultimately, viewers, if you look at hardcore figures in terms of the rising rate of unemployment, 6 out of 25 states are in double digits when it comes down to the percentage of the rate of unemployment. Most of them over 20%. Just think about that.